There is something quite special and mysterious about seashells and the creatures that once inhabited them. The rich variety of sizes, shapes and colours of shells have inspired artists, writers and thinkers for generations. Seashells have played an important part in fine art. Botticelli's The Birth of Venus, painted in about 1480, depicting the goddess of love standing on a scallop shell, is one of the artist's most celebrated works. Shells were admired by Renaissance architects for the perfection of their structure. Their shape often inspired the design and adornment of buildings, like here at Stanway House in Gloucestershire, built around 1630. Leonardo da Vinci studied and drew the perfect spiral construction of shells that are said to have been the inspiration for the famous spiral staircase at the Château de Blois in France. By the mid-17th century, the courts of Louis XIV and Louis XV had become obsessed with shell motifs. They were depicted in paintings, sculptures, furniture and landscaping, which the French called rocaille. This term gave rise to the word rococo, which is widely used to define the period. Here in the UK, the fashion for shells reached its zenith towards the end of the 18th century. From the father of English ceramics, Josiah Wedgwood, onwards, every potter of note has used the shell design in their repertoire, as too have furniture designers such as Robert Adam and silversmith Nicholas Spearmont. Nowhere is the trend better seen than in the construction of the Royal Pavilion in Brighton, built by John Nash for the Prince Regent. On a somewhat more modest scale, work on the Grade 2 listed Bicton Shell House began in 1842. It was financed by Lady Louisa Rolle and her nephew the Honourable Mark Rolle and completed in 1845. The Victorians were just as frivolous with shell designs, but perhaps more sentimental about shell collecting. With the growth of interest in natural history and the popularity of foreign travel, it was not surprising that shell collecting, particularly specimens from foreign climes, became something of an obsession. Lady Louisa's husband, Lord John Rolle, owned estates on the Exuma archipelago in the Bahamas. An abundance of sea life in the warm subtropical waters surrounding Exuma's 365 islands and cays proved a haven for shell collecting. As more and more specimens were brought back to Bicton, so the need of a purpose-built structure in which to display the collection prompted construction of the shell house that we see today. Constructed from irregular lumps of flint, its almost primeval appearance and secluded location perhaps reflects the Rolle's love of exploration and adventure. Just as the spoils of journeys made by Victorian plant hunters established many of the plants and tree species found at Bicton, so too this unique shell collection is a lasting tribute to a time of discovery and quest for knowledge about the natural world around us. And if you listen very carefully, you may just catch the sound of the sea caught up in the shells all around you.